Potlatch is actually a Chinook word for bringing people together to commemorate an important milestone: birth, marriage, death. Each one of those transformations is commemorated with a feast.
They would prepare for a long time. 4 years from now, we'll have a big feast.
The gatherings were hosted by a chief and his family and included feasting, songs, and dances.
At the end of the potlatch, the host will give gifts to everybody to thank them for coming to witness the ceremonies.
That was our way of passing down knowledge, passing it down to our children.
It was a way for our people to keep their history alive. Of course, it makes me feel angry.
We weren't allowed to gather more than 4 people at a time. People had to go underground to secretly continue our ceremonies.
My father held a potlatch in Village Island. A lot of the people that attended it were arrested. 26 were sent to prison.
I remember when we could not speak our own language, wear our traditional clothes, or celebrate with the potlatch. They wanted to make us like them. We are burdened to this day with great sadness and anger.
The potlatch survived only because our elders refused to be silenced.
We will dance when our laws command us to dance, and we will feast when our hearts desire to feast. Let the white man observe his law. We shall observe ours.
The first were arrested. The crimes with which they were charged ranged from giving speeches, that was a crime; dancing, that was a crime; carrying gifts, that was also a crime. The community was offered a deal: surrender your treasures in exchange for lighter sentences. 20 men and women were imprisoned for sentences ranging between 2 to 3 months. The victorious Indian agent displayed the captured goods in the Anglican Parish Hall in Alert Bay. He charged admission, photographed it enthusiastically, and sold 33 pieces to New York collector George Hay. Ceremonies were held in secret. My daughter's late father recalled being part of a communication network of little boys sent to climb trees and hide in bushes to watch for the Indian agent or the police. But sometimes a Christian convert or someone seeking favor would leak the location to the priest, who would then contact the Indian agent, who would then summon the RCMP. The ceremony would be raided, pipes, drums, bundles, and any number of precious items would be seized. Secretly, triumvirates of priest, Indian agent, police officer would contact dealers and collectors, sell items illegally, and divide the proceeds. Controlled displays and performances of First Nations culture became important demonstrations of Canadian nationalism on the global stage. Here at the Chicago World's Fair, an outlawed ceremony is performed. Simultaneously, children were removed from their homes and confined in residential and industrial schools, initially voluntarily, but as parents opposed their restrictive and punitive practices, attendance was made mandatory and resistant parents arrested and their children seized. In 1893, Chicago's World Columbian Exposition, conceived as a celebration of colonization, required the participation of global indigenous peoples against whom the advancement of European civilization could be projected. And their exhibition included a living exhibition of children who, and this is the words of the annual report, who had been for some time inmates of Canada's industrial schools. Ian Mosby's recent article this summer revealed medical and nutritional experiments conducted with the captive bodies of children in First Nations residential schools in the 1940s and 1950s.
This footage was captured by a Seattle couple who traveled by boat up the Inside Passage. The cameraman was perhaps one of the first to capture footage of the settlement besides the Hudson Bay Company's 1920 footage. The Thunderbird and totem pole carvings are simply a delight to see, even in this black and white footage. I'm only just touching on the history of Alert Bay, and I'm certainly not able to do justice to the history on this short film. I hope you'll appreciate how rare and important this footage is.